Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be going over the Flash 715, which aired tonight. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of the video. So this is a crazy episode. It really just makes something better for me. So pretty much the episode started off with Barry at CCPD, and he dreamed about seeing Nora, his daughter Nora, and basically saying that everything's gonna be okay and all that. And Barry took that as Iris is probably pregnant, so throughout the episode, Barry's trying to get tests done to see if Iris was pregnant. Now, Iris wasn't in the episode. They mentioned her that she was sick, but the actor probably, the actress, sorry, who played Iris, Candace Payton, probably needed a break, which is probably similar to why Grant was gone last episode. He needed a break because of COVID. He can't really do that much throughout the show. So this is Iris' break, and I think it's very well deserved for Iris, for the actress who plays Iris. So yeah. Barry ended up driving to Star Labs, get test results done, because his super speed could affect it. He didn't want to ruin any of that. And Chester ended up coming in and telling him that that's not possible because, well, you can't get test results done in the lab because Kate's doing surgery on Ultraviolet. So, yeah, he decided to go CCPD and do it there instead. Frost was painting, and I put quotes around that because she was basically just throwing paint at the wall. And Chester basically came in and talked about Chilblain for a bit. Nothing really interesting, but yeah. Then it went to Joe and Kramer, and they're still working together to figure out the case, what happened to Kramer's team and all that. So yeah. And Joe's a little bit worried that Kramer is doing all this for vengeance and not justice, and that she's going to take it into her own hands or screw Joe over in some way. Then it went to two Godspeeds, can't talk. Two Godspeeds showed up in Central City, or at least that was the start of it, making the same weird noises the other ones did in Season 5. Well, I don't think it was Season 5, sorry, Season 6. Those two times we saw them, they made the same noises then as they did now, which basically means they're clones, they're not the real Godspeed. But I think we are set to see the real Godspeed 717, I think it was, or 718, somewhere around there. So yeah. We learned more about Ultraviolet and Black Hole. Basically, Black Hole put that mask on Ultraviolet to heal her and to help her talk or whatever. And the second that stops working, she won't really be able to do much, like talk or anything. So Kate had to do surgery on her, and yeah, basically went on in the middle of the Godspeed War, which, yeah, not the best occurrence to do surgery under, but, you know, Kate's a bad blank, you know what I'm going to say, so she did anyway. So, yeah, Chilblain ended up getting attacked by three guys, people that he worked with, I guess, trying to get his job back or something, and Frost came in, helped, and brought Chilblain to Star Labs, getting him patched up by Caitlin. This is before Caitlin did the surgery. Cecile ended up walking in on Barry running the tests, and the windows of CCPD literally exploded, and the DNA samples got ruined, which kind of set Barry's plan to figure out if I was pregnant or not back. But then we learned that Godspeed was the reason behind that. Now, I don't think they really explained if this was just CCPD because Barry was there, or if it was because, like, just Godspeed's energy just released throughout the whole city. I'm wondering if it was just attacking against Barry and it was just that one lab or that one specific area, because the lights did get exploded in the hallway. So I wonder if the Godspeeds attacked CCPD only because Barry was there, or if there was a whole city, just like Godspeed's energy being, like, expanded throughout the whole city. But I don't really think they explained it that much. Maybe it's just CCPD, I'd assume. Barry didn't want Iris involved at all in this, and he still doesn't right now. And it kind of seems like Barry's worried he's going to die to one of these Godspeeds, which is fair to say considering they nearly took all his speed last time we saw him, but and very well could kill Barry if he's not careful. But yeah, it does seem like Barry's more worried than he normally is coming up against a big bad. I mean, yeah, I think they've all come close to killing Barry at one point, but I think Barry knowing enough about Godspeed now, with everything he's been through with Godspeed, I think you can definitely see Barry taking a toll on that, and basically just seeing him wondering if he's going to make it out of this war, Godspeed war, alive, or if he's going to die in the process. I think that's going to be really. Obviously, we know Barry's not going to die during it, but it's really interesting to see Barry go through that, because now he's thinking as a father, he's wondering if he's going to make it out of, hoping that Iris is pregnant now so that he doesn't, ruin the future or anything, if he does end up dying. But yeah, that's pretty interesting to see Barry go through that. It's good scenes, don't get me wrong, it's very good scenes. But it's also very interesting to see Barry go through that. Barry went after one of the Godspeeds that were attacking the power grid, to get rid of all the power in that. And 6 Godspeeds showed up in that one place. So Barry decided to run, which in my view was a pretty damn smart idea. 1 against 6, especially all the same speeds, never really worked for anyone. And it was nice to see that Barry's like at match speed, kind of a little bit faster than the other Godspeeds, instead of it being with what we learned recently about Barry is that he has new top speeds. So it's very interesting to see him matching Godspeed's speed, or even a little bit faster. At least I'm not going down that same route of, oh, Barry's not fast enough, which is a good thing they're doing. So thank you to the writers for listening to us for once. Barry told Chester to put up defense around Star Labs so that the Godspeeds can't get in, which cannot be phased through, run through, whatever. So the Godspeeds start punching it, not speed punching it, just punching it. Because there's 6 of them, so maybe speed punching it would have done better. I don't really know. But they just started punching it like crazy. Now I saw someone mention this. Why didn't they just phase through the ground and into Star Labs? You have to remember there's a basement in Star Labs. I can't imagine whoever made the force field. I'm assuming Cisco did, or maybe Cisco and Chester, I don't know. But whoever developed the force field, I would assume they would think that some speedster, if they ever came up to the force field, would think to phase underground and get in that way. So even though they didn't say it, I think they just want us to think, hey, this goes underneath the whole building and circles it so no one can get in, even if they phase through it. Again, they didn't say it, but I think that's just a common sense thing that obviously they don't really want people getting in. All the Godspeeds pretty much started, or sorry, I'm off now. Chester overheard Barry talking to Iris, or on the phone, leaving a voicemail for Iris about the baby, and Chester got excited and whatever. We learned from that scene that Cisco turned the time vault into pretty much a speedster protector thing, in case Barry ever went rogue again and turned Dark Flash like he did in early season 6. No speedster can get in there. I'll get into that in a minute. Cause oh boy, when the Godspeed started attacking the force field, Chilblain was inside Star Labs. And Frost wanted Chilblain to help in case they did break in, which they sure enough did, later on in the episode. But yeah, that's interesting to see Frost kind of wanting Chilblain to help, which I, again, think was necessary. All the Godspeeds starting using their, vibrational force ability, that comes out of their chest when they vibrate fast and that draws from energy. Started using that against the force field, and the force field started to drain, and it sure enough got basically rid of. And all the Godspeeds came in. Now, Chester, prior to that, had a plan to make the same noise that all the Godspeeds did and send throughout the whole city, bouncing off every phone, every announcer in the city to get Godspeeds distracted so Barry could defeat them easily, or easier. And that plan had changed to just doing it in Star Labs because they came into Star Labs. Chester ended up going to the Time Vault. Frost and Chillblaine were in the lounge. They didn't show where Kate, Ultraviolet, and Cecile were. I would assume in the med bay, but no Godspeed searched there. I would assume because they went right for Barry and they knew where the other three were. So I'd assume that's what the case was. Because they saw Barry there and they're probably like, well, Barry's the only one here. Obviously, there's other people in the building, but they're not anywhere near Barry. Because why would they be? You would think if you see Barry in the room, you wouldn't think he would keep people around him. So I assume that's the writer's standpoint. So if you're wondering why they didn't show where Kate, Ultraviolet, and Cecile were, that's probably why they didn't mention it. They're still in the same room. But yeah, that was definitely a good fight. So we actually got one of the first legitimate fight scenes this season since like 705, I think. It was a very, very good fight scene. And I think it was definitely cool to see Barry doing speed punches in slow motion against Godspeed. It was a very, very well done fight sequence with Barry and Godspeed in the Cortex. And I think they got some very good punches into each other, but I thought Godspeed was going to win that for a minute in the start, but he didn't. And then Tristan's plan started, and Barry knocked one of the Godspeeds almost out. And then it stopped working, and Godspeed almost killed Frost, Chillblaine, and Chester when the Godspeeds broke into the Time Vault, disabled all the speed dampeners and whatever, and basically almost killed them. And then 3 Godspeeds showed up in the Cortex, but the one already there, so 2 more, and almost killed Barry, or were going to. And then Barry wiped them all out, which caught him off guard. And then all the Godspeeds ran out Star Labs and chased Barry throughout the city. And they end up in, I'm assuming, like the center of it or something. And all the Godspeeds started basically stealing Barry's speed by using their vibrational force. Which, again, drawing Barry's energy gives them more power. So it doesn't need to be the same way we saw Godspeed do in Season 6. It can be this way because they did say Godspeed doing that ability comes from drawing energy. So the only way to get more powerful is if they drain Barry's energy, which is Speed Force, and using it against him to become faster and stronger. Definitely interesting to see that. But all 6 of them started using that ability on Barry. He couldn't really run because he was being pinned down by all that. And then 6 more Godspeeds, this is 12 total now, showed up and started attacking the other 6 Godspeeds, which made 0 sense to me. But I think it's fair to say that there's definitely one of the Godspeeds, or probably the main Godspeed, who's trying to like get their speeds, the other Godspeed speeds, or so many speeds. Like, let's name a speed god Godspeed, because when we talk about how fast they go, and they know we're gonna be using the word speed, so we can say Godspeed speed. They're trying to steal the other Godspeed speed. I hate this. This is so annoying. Like, why? You know, I'm just gonna say velocity from now on. They're trying to steal Godspeed's velocity from the other Godspeeds. Still doesn't help anything. Point is, they're trying to do that. I'm assuming, that's my theory. They didn't actually go over that really. But Barry did call it a civil war, like, because it is technically a civil war by this point. And it was mentioned that the other 6 Godspeeds didn't want to defend Barry. They still want to get to Barry, get his speed, and probably kill him at one point. But they're attacking each other because, for whatever reason, I think the main Godspeed wants that to happen. So there's only 6 total, or maybe 12. I don't really know off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm assuming that's what's going on there. We found out Iris isn't pregnant. The pregnancy test came back negative, which Barry was worried about their future, especially if he was going to die during this. Then, Nora and, well, Barry doesn't know this, but Bart, who we'll be seeing later in the season, probably won't be born if Barry dies, obviously. So definitely interesting to see Barry go through that. Kramer and Joe were camping at one of the suspects they're looking into house. I don't remember the guy's name. And the guy actually blew up Joe's and Kramer's car while they were in it. It looked like they got out, but we didn't see much of it, so I'm assuming they're okay. Who knows? I would hope so. For Joe's sake, Cameron can die. Who gives a crap? But hopefully Joe's okay. But yeah, definitely interesting to see that. So that was pretty much the episode. If I had to rate it, it'd be a freaking 10 out of 10. It was a very good episode. 7/16 has John in it, has Dig in it. So it really does look amazing. It looks like Dig actually fights one of the Godspeeds, which again, interesting. So yeah, definitely gonna be, I think, one of the best episodes this season's ever had. Next to this one, and 702. But yeah, and 704. But that was the episode. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.